Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody is doing well this evening. As Michigan Wifey said, happy Monday. Let me go there. Michigan Wifey, happy Monday to you too. Good to have you here. Chris Gideon is here. Good to have you as always, Chris. And anybody else here, any lurkers, anybody watching on replay, welcome, welcome. This is our missing person Monday, almost a video live stream today because I didn't have time to record a video for it because I did a live stream last night and my cat has just entered the room. So if you hear mysterious noises, it's just Tigger playing with his toy over there. Anyway, welcome everybody. Missing Person Monday. Have lots to get through tonight. We have several current missing persons within the last year, and then I'll have the 4 cold case missing persons cases to share to you. And most of these cases, once again tonight, are coming from either the cold cases Facebook group or any of the other true crime or missing person cold cases groups, Facebook groups that I've joined within the last week or so. And so I just want to get that in there. And I did remember to put the link to the cold cases group in the chat. So it should be up close to the top of the chat, but it is also, I believe I remember to put it in the description box. I also remember to put the link to my Facebook group, Southern Guys True Crime, in the chat box in description. So please do go check out both of those groups. If it is your first time here, welcome. I share missing persons, cold cases, current true crime in the news, and some other stuff. Anything interesting, true crime related that I find and that I think you guys might find interesting, I share. The missing persons and cold cases that I share are the ones that don't get the national attention, don't even get local attention that they deserve. So on my channel, that is what we cover. And those are the cases that we're going to be talking about tonight. And I'll get to Lewis. Yes, Michigan Wifey, I'm doing very good today. I hope everybody's doing well. We got out today and we had to go to the Wally World and get our weekly shopping done, and went out to eat lunch and a couple of other things. So I actually got out of the house today. Long time, first time in a long time I've got out of the house, but we got some things done today. But yes, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. Chris says, I've come across 2 cases that you could possibly use. Yeah, any cases you come across, I think what we're going to start doing, because I do go at least every other day, I go to all the missing persons and cold case groups and I'm in and check for new stuff and, you know, try to add anything useful that I might have. But if you go to my Facebook group and go to the featured section, the pinned section at the top, I think I do have a post already that says, if there's a case that you would like to see featured on my YouTube channel, go to that, click on that post, put a comment in, give me the name, the description, you know, or what state, the victim's name, what state it comes from, any information you may have. But you can also, if you don't want to, if I know there's some people here that don't do Facebook, you can also, let me find the right banner. For some reason, my banners are all in the wrong place. There we go. You can also, anybody can email me. Email me like I said, the victim's name, state it came from, any information you may have, and I will do my research on it and do a missing person, included in Missing Person Monday, do a case of the week, anything I can do to, like my camera's not straight, or maybe it's just me. Anything I can do to help feature it, I will feature it, or help, I will feature it to help bring awareness to it. So yes, just any, through email, you can comment on any of my Missing Person Monday videos. That would also be a good way. My cat just literally threw my brush at me. Dude, that hurts. Sorry. Leave a comment in any of my videos or live streams. Like I said, name of the victim, the state it comes from, and I will be more than happy to research it and share it. Or email me, or put it on my Facebook page, Southern Gal True Crime, or you can join the True Crime or the Southern Gal group. It is a private group. Obviously, there's no, you don't have to pay to join, but yeah, anyway, but I'm trying to find a way to, to get basically kind of one or two places to put cases, requests where I can kind of keep up with them and go through them and, try to get everybody's done that has requested for me to do. Hello, Junior Johnson. Welcome, Junior. It's good to have you here, Junior. Yeah, I'm a little bit earlier tonight, so you might get to watch some of it, most of it, before you have to go to bed. It's good. You say you're in Michigan, so I hope you're doing well in Michigan. I hope your family's doing well, as always. I saw Miss. There she is. Where'd she go? I lost her. I'm losing my people. There she goes. Miss Barbara Hall is here again tonight. Thank you so much. She was here last night for my 3-hour live stream that I had last night. But we talked about a lot of good information last night. So Miss Barbara, it's always good to have you here. Oh, wrong one. Junior saying thank God about something. Are you saying thank God that you're back in Michigan? Yeah, I know you've been traveling between Michigan and Kentucky for family. So just as always, thoughts, prayers, good vibes, safe travels to you when you're traveling, Junior. Okay, should have got my piece of paper out. I may have it here if I can find my pen. Let's see. Hold on. Hopefully this one will right. Michigan Mafia says she'd love to see Bernita White's cold case from Lansing solved. All right, let me write down. All right, I have my little piece of paper that I started last night. I will write that down. Always hoping my pen will write. Of course, I had to pick up a pen that didn't work. Oh goodness. Of course, all I can find is a Sharpie. That'll work though. Let me scratching on the. I hate these Sharpies. I'm gonna get high off Sharpie smell here. Bernita White from Michigan. All right, Michigan Wifey. I will add that to my list. Put my little piece of paper over there. So, thank you for that. Oh, Junior says I'm early. Yeah, you mean not early for tonight or early for me? Yeah, I scheduled this one last night. I scheduled the True Crime Sunday Live for 8:30, but I decided to schedule this one for a little bit earlier. Okay, Michigan Wifey says she was at Potter Park Zoo. All right, I will. Yes, yes, ma'am. I will definitely look into that. All right, I think I'm caught up. Whole case from 2001. Got it. Thank you, ma'am. I will definitely look into it. I'll put it on my list, my ever-growing list of requests for cases and people to feature. But hey, that's what I'm here for. All I ask is just be patient. I've been getting a lot of requests lately for missing persons and cold cases and missing persons. I will systematically work through them and work them up and feature them any way I can. Just bear with me. Have patience. But I will get there. I promise. All right, we will. Make sure I haven't forgotten anything before we get into it. I'll do all my shameless plugging at the end. I'm going to go through first some of the more current missing persons. I'll go through all of them, get caught up in comments, and then I'll do the four cold cases all together without interruption, without stopping and starting for comments and questions. And then after I get done with those four cases, I will. So, while I'm doing all the cases, just pop any questions or comments in chat, or if you're watching replay, put it in the comments. And when I get done with those four cases, I will go through all the comments and questions and do them at the end. So we'll get to and some of these that I'm featuring first tonight are ones, like I said, most of them come from either the Cold Cases Facebook group or some of the other groups that I'm in on Facebook, and they are most of them are I did feature last night too in my True Crime Sunday Live. So first we have Isaiah Cramer, and forgive me for some of these. I have to lean in a little bit. He is just 16 years old, 5'10", 220 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He was last seen, and I believe this one is from Wisconsin. He was last seen on February 4th of this year. He was last seen on the evening of February 4th around Maple Avenue and Center Drive in the village of Vernon. He does require medication that he does not have with him, and it says he is a light-skinned black male. And there is a $2,000 reward in this case. I do have a short article that I'm going to read that goes with this. It gives a little bit more information. A $2,000 reward for credible information that leads to bringing Isaiah home. So if you have any information about this case, please call 262-446-5090. And I think I've already got this article is from fox6now.com, and it was from February 21st of this year. And it says, Waukesha County teen missing, search expands for Isaiah Cramer. The search for a Waukesha County teenager continues. 16-year-old Isaiah Cramer was last seen in Vernon near Maple and Center on Sunday, February 4th. He was staying at a residential treatment center in Vernon for mental health issues. Apparently, he just walked away from the facility. He is 5'8", around 200 pounds. He was last seen wearing dark sweatpants and a dark hooded sweatshirt. And I think on the slide there on the left on the missing poster, it says last seen wearing this hoodie. So that is the hoodie that he was wearing when he disappeared, or when he walked away from this treatment facility. The Waukesha County Sheriff's Office continues to follow up on all leads. They have received tips ranging from northern Illinois to Manitowoc, Wisconsin. On February 19th, officials did receive a tip that Isaiah may have been spotted near the intersection of Edgewood Avenue and Center Drive in the early morning hours of February 5th. Based on that information, they expanded their search area to the north. They utilized personnel, drones, canine resources. The Cramer family is offering a $2,000 reward for information that leads to Isaiah coming home. So once again, anyone with information on Isaiah's possible whereabouts. If you've seen him, please call the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department at 262-446-5090. So that is Isaiah Cramer. Next we have, and I'm going to try to do my best with some of these names. Barane Ashete Abate. She has been missing since June 23rd of 2019 from Indianapolis, Indiana. It says she's 35 years old, 5'3" to 5'5", 180 to 200 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. She went missing, or she came over to the United States. It says on June 14th of 2019 that she came over with a family from overseas. She had been working for this family for about 2 years as a nanny. And according to the documents in her case file, she left on one of her days off for a walk. She never returned. There's very little information available. So if you have any information regarding this case or her possible whereabouts or any circumstances surrounding her disappearance, call the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department at 317-327-6160. Next we have, this is Michaela Shack. She is missing from Little Rock, Arkansas since March 6th of 2024 around 6 p.m. Her nickname is Cupcake. She is about 5'6", black hair. It just says a slim body build. Any individual, or if you have any information regarding the location of Michaela, anything to do with her disappearance or her whereabouts, please call Detective Deering at 501-404-3014 or Detective Boyd, or the Little Rock Major Crimes Division at 501-371-4660. And it says that callers may remain anonymous. I did feature this one last night too. This is basically all the information we have on this one. This is Emilshua Blair. She and her 3-year-old son went missing, I believe it was March 11th from Corinth, Mississippi. So the Corinth Police Department issued a missing person alert for Emilshua and her 3-year-old son. They have not been seen or heard from. It said in days, and like I said on the other slide I did last night, I think it was March 11th. According to reports, she and her son were last seen on Monday the 11th at around 3:45 p.m. She had left her mother's home on Buchanan Street with her 3-year-old son. Police say she could be driving a black 2013 Kia Optima with a Mississippi personalized tag reading Honey, Honeye. So if you have any information regarding Emilshua or her 3-year-old son, their whereabouts, got to get this small man, this baby found, y'all. Contact the Corinth Police Department at 662-286-3377. Terrifies me when, adults too, but when there's children missing too, that just makes it even worse. This is, I don't think I included this one last night. I think I shared it in some groups, but this is April Rain Pettit, or I might have found it in one of the groups, either last night or this morning. She is just 16 years old. She was last seen February 26th of this year from Muskogee, Oklahoma. She has brown hair, black eyes, unknown height and weight. It says there's a red alert, whatever a red alert is. Says, please, if you see April, please help her. April Rain Pettit, she's just 16, was last seen in Muskogee on February 26th. If you have seen her or know her whereabouts, please contact the Muskogee Creek Nation Light Horse Police Department at 918-732-7800. And it gives a reference, case reference, NCMEC, case reference number. You can also call 1-800-THE-LOST or click, well, you can click the link below. If I remember, I can't remember if I put that link in. At any rate, call the number there. NCMEC is National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. It's 1-800-THE-LOST. You're a local law enforcement or 911, and they can get you in touch with the right authorities. If you happen to see April or know anything about her whereabouts. All right, I got some small ones. These are some that I've featured. On the left there is Lauren Deaver. She is I thought I might be able to read it better off my computer, but 37, I believe, 5'7", 145 pounds, hazel eyes, brown hair. Last known location is, I believe, Little Rock or North Little Rock, Arkansas. Sorry, I'm leaning into the camera, but I'm trying to read this small writing. So she was last seen on March 10th, 2024 at the Murphy Oil Station located at Pershing, in North Little Rock, Arkansas. She was last seen wearing jeans, a gray hoodie, brown, I think it's moccasin style, something style boots, Moroccan style boots maybe, and carrying a black backpack. So if you have any information, please contact your local PD or Detective Brown at 501-472, I cannot read that, 9343, I believe, or 501-680-8439 tip line. And you can also remain anonymous. I'm sorry, I should have uploaded my slides to my laptop so I can make them big and read the small writing on my slides, but I was running late today again as usual, so I didn't get it done. And then the right there is Joshua Graham Caskey. He is still missing. He's been missing since January 19th. So it's been about a month now. He left his home in Winterset, Iowa on January, I think it says 18th. I think he was also spotted somewhere in around Kansas, somewhere Oklahoma, Kansas City, and then his last known sighting was on around January 19th in Mena. He had been on some hiking trails, and at some point he had made a 911 call. I don't know if it was a 911 hang up or he just called 911 and then he just left his phone at his home or wherever he was staying at the time, and he left. He was spotted on some surveillance cameras, and I believe that June 19th in Mena was the last confirmed spotting of him on surveillance, maybe in a convenience store or gas station. Since then, there have been no other sightings of him. His family has still not heard anything from him. He's driving or was driving a 2013, I believe, Pontiac Ford or Ford Taurus with Iowa tags. So if you have any information, please contact the Winterset Police Department at 515-462-1423. Sorry. Reading, my old eyes aren't working good tonight. Right. Next we have on the left there, Devontae Morgan. He has been missing. That is really small. I really should have I don't think I can make it bigger on my phone. He is missing from Georgia. He is 29. I'm so sorry, I can't read that. I think it's Mount Shasta, Georgia. And he has been missing since If it's on there, I'm sorry, guys. If you guys are reading that on a bigger screen than I am, or you can take a screenshot on your phone and blow it up. I can't read that very little writing. I will put a link, or I'll put this poster, all these missing posters, on my community page on the channel. That way, it'll be easier for you guys to read. On the right, we have David Michael Bowers Jr. He went missing from Afton, Missouri on September 12th, 2021. So this is an older one. He is 16, I believe, 5'10", about 128 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. So if you have any information regarding David, his whereabouts, anything about his situation, please call the Miller County Sheriff's Office at 573-369-2341, or the MSHP Missing Persons Unit at 800-877-3452. All right, now we have Adeline Ramirez. This is from the Morgan Nick Foundation Facebook page. She has been went missing from North Little Rock, Arkansas on January 28th. So hers what's today, the 18th. Creeping up on the month now. She is just 14 years old. She is a white female, 5'1", 135 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Yeah, let's say in North Little Rock. So if you have any information about Adeline or her whereabouts, please contact the North Little Rock Police Department at 501-758-1234. And Mr. Robert Brown, we've been following him for 2 or 3 weeks now, as he went missing on February 29th. So I guess about 3 weeks now. 77 years old. He has dementia, possibly Alzheimer's. He went missing from Texarkana, Arkansas. So anybody down around the southwest part of Arkansas, southeast part of Texas, down around Texarkana, please keep your eye out. He is a white male, 77 years old, 5'10", 175 pounds, with gray hair and blue eyes. He walked away from his home on foot. And I've checked once again for updates on all these cases, and I checked again for Mr. Brown, checked the Google and the Morgan Nick Foundation page, all the missing persons pages on Facebook and on the internet, and no sign, no update that he has been found deceased or otherwise. So if you have any information, please contact the Miller County Sheriff's Office at 870-774-3001. And this is our wanted person. This is Takahi Shelby. Takahi is wanted in connection to the Amir Ellis case from here in Arkansas. She does have a nationwide arrest warrant that was issued around the end of February out of Arkansas for felony kidnapping resulting in homicide. And I checked the Amir Ellis Facebook group today, and you see there on the right, the reward for her. Any information leading to her capture has increased to $350. I think she could be in the Hot Springs, Little Rock, or Conway, Arkansas area, but she could be anywhere. She might not even be in the state anymore, unfortunately. So that's why I wanted to share this one. Anywhere, anybody, anywhere, please share this. I think I have put it up. I made a short of it and also did a community post with the wanted poster. Please share it anywhere and everywhere you can to get this young lady back to Arkansas if they're, in custody, so she can face her charges. All right, so those are our current missing persons. Let me get caught up once again, get caught up real quick in the comments, and then I will get to the 4 cold cases. And then we'll, after I get through all the 4 cold cases, I'll get to all the comments and questions that you guys pop in there while I'm giving you the information on the cold cases. So we'll get down to Get down to where I was in comments. Thank you. Michigan Wifey says she's a forever fan. I don't know if you're talking about me or something else, or if you're just conversating with the other chatters, but yeah, Michigan Wifey is one of my OGs. Chris says, I'm thinking about the redhead. I've heard of those. I will write that down on my list and research that. Yeah, like I said, just I know Chris, I know you're in my Facebook group. Just find that post for any case that you want to see featured, any case request, and put it in that comment on it, and that way it's kind of, I'm trying to find a way to get all these requests in one or two locations to make it easier for me to keep up with. But I will most definitely, any case that you guys want me to look into, I will write it down and eventually get to it. You just have to be patient. That's like I said, but I will get to it. Miss Marion Tate is back tonight. Hello, Miss Marion, and you are Miss Barbara's sister, right? If I remember correctly from last night. So good to have you back tonight. Junior says that only around 33% of homicide cases are solved in Michigan. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to research that too, because last night we were talking about what did we ask last night for any of you guys that were here? Oh, the state that had the highest number of disappearances, and I believe it was California, which I had guessed at that, and I actually got it right. I think number 2 was Florida. But yeah, um, yeah, we'll have to look into. Somebody can do research and look into these statistics of solved rate for homicide cases in each state. Just get caught up really quick. Okay, so Michigan Wifey, you talking about the case you were telling me, Bernita? Michigan Wifey says it was a big story here, was never solved. In my opinion, it was swept under the rug because of who her husband was. She GSW from a long distance. Definitely. Okay, gotcha. I will most definitely look into it for you, my dear. I'll research it. Oh yeah, almost. Yes, Junior. Of course, is in Michigan. He says he is waiting on news on the D. Warner case. I have covered that case. I did either a live stream or a video on the D. Warner case. And the last updated information I had was what they were waiting for the trial in Adrian, Michigan. So Junior hopefully will be able to keep us updated on that. And he says hopefully he'll be able to attend the trial. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Barbara said David is on our list in Missouri. Was that one of the missing that I went through earlier, the current ones? I'm behind in comments. I'm trying to multitask here and trying to multitask and do this as quickly and efficiently as possible. Said you talked to his family. You're very welcome, Miss Marion says thank you for putting our stories out there. You're welcome. It's not just me, it's all of us. It takes creators in the community, all of us working together to get this information out. But thank you, ma'am. Junior says that he thinks the D. Warner case, I'm assuming that's what they're talking about, has gotten quite a bit of it. It's going to be a big case because it's gotten quite a bit of attention. Yeah, I think that was the one where I'm 99 that it's the husband had something to do with it. Oh, thank you. Michigan Wifey said I was talking about you and your channel. Thank you, Michigan Wifey. Yes, Miss Marion says justice for all. Absolutely. Okay. All right, Miss Barbara. Gotcha. Miss Barbara says, yes, David was one of the ones that you just put up for the missing in Missouri. I talked to the family and made a poster board for him. Excellent. Thank you, Miss Barbara. All right, I'm caught up in comments. So now, like I said, I'm going to go through, we'll run through all 4 of the cold cases. While I'm doing that, while you're listening and chatting, if you have any questions or comments about any of the cases, pop them in the chat. And if you don't mind, just so I won't get confused about which case you're talking about, put the person's name that we're talking about, the case, with any comment or question. That way I won't have to ask you, ask you who you're talking about. Just make it go a little bit more smoothly. All right, let me get a quick drink before I start. Okay. First, we have Brian W. Sullivan. I should have been getting his information up. He went missing July 7th of 2007 from Rochester, New York. He's a white male. He was 19 when he went missing. He was 5'11", 170 pounds when he went missing. He was last seen wearing blue jean shorts, a blue pinstripe button-down shirt, a green baseball cap, and white flip-flops. At the time, he may have been in need of medical attention for unspecified reasons. He had black hair and blue eyes. His nickname was Sully. He may have also used the aliases Chuck Griswold and or Charles Griswold. So that is, and the reason I give the physical description and any tattoos and last known clothing in cold cases, those things could help jog somebody's memory of, yeah, I saw somebody that fit this physical description wearing this specific piece of clothing or had this tattoo or scar. So it's just a memory jogger that I give. It's useful in cold cases. So Brian was last seen at the drive-through window of a Burger King restaurant on Chile Avenue in Gates, New York at around 5:45 a.m. on July 7th, 2007. His red 1995 Pontiac Sunfire with New York plates was found abandoned at the end of Leadington Street near a wooded area later that day. The Burger King purchase receipt, fast food wrappers, and his bank card and phone charger were inside the vehicle when they found it. There were no signs of foul play in or around the vehicle. He was last heard from when he left a friend a voicemail at 6:10 a.m. of the following day, the 8th, the day after he was last seen. He has not been seen or heard from since. And in this information, basic information, is from the Charley Project. It did not say who he called and left the voicemail to. He just says he left a friend a voicemail. He is a graduate of Churchville, Chile High School. He was a student at Monroe Community College at the time of his disappearance. He had held a job at the college bookstore. He had saved up enough money to buy the car, the Pontiac Sunfire, I believe it was. His hobbies included taking long walks, listening to music. He was striving for a career in social work or the music industry. His family stated that he was not having any personal problems at the time of his disappearance, although he was unemployed. Prior to his disappearance, he had ordered some microphones and sound mixing equipment, which arrived in the mail after he went missing. Derek Murray, and I believe that is Derek Murray. You can see on the slide the smaller picture there in the bottom corner of the big picture is Derek Murray. He is the prime suspect in Brian's disappearance, but he passed away apparently in August of 2016 at the age of 49. Investigators believe that Brian and Derek Murray knew each other and spent time together in southwestern Rochester, New York. Brian did not have Murray, the prime suspect, it says he did not have an unusually long or violent criminal record, but he did have a history of run-ins with the police. He had been a suspect in Sullivan's case since shortly after Brian disappeared, and it says this fact was not made to the public until after Derek Murray passed away. I don't know why they wouldn't release that information beforehand, unless they just didn't have enough evidence at the time to prove anything, and they didn't want to put his name out there and spook him, maybe where he would take off. That would just be my guess. Authorities stated they think other people in the area do know what happened to Brian, and they hope to recover his remains. So if you have any information in Brian's case, you can contact the Monroe County Sheriff's Department at 585-753-4900. And I do have, I believe I was able to find, I try to always find some kind of article, if there's any updates to the case or interviews with the family, just to for more info, and to I always like to hear comments and interviews with family members, because aside from the victim, obviously, the family that's left behind and loved ones are the most important part of these missing persons cases. So I found this one. It is from rochesterfirst.com. Let me swat some ads out of the way here. There we go. And it is from January 24th, actually, of this year. And it says, family of Brian Sullivan continues to seek closure after nearly 17 years. It's been nearly 17 years since Brian Sullivan went missing. The Chile man was just 19 at the time of his disappearance. To this day, his family is still searching for closure. Law enforcement, as well as the family, remain focused on finding his remains. What started as a missing persons investigation in 2007 quickly evolved into a homicide case. To help provide answers, investigators say someone still needs to come forward. That is like I don't know if Dandelion. I haven't seen Dandelion in a while. I hope she's doing all right. But Dandy always says, if you see something, say something. And if you know something, say something. All it takes is one person to come forward with any little bit of info, no matter how small or insignificant you think that person might think it is. It could be a break to the case, or it can provide another lead or for investigators to follow. I follow and watch a lot of former law enforcement and cold case detectives, and that's what they say. All they need is a lead to follow. You follow that lead until it either leads to something or it leads to nothing, and then you just wait and hope that for another lead to come in. All it takes is one person to say the right thing with the right information to either break a case or to help it move forward a little bit more. It's time for those that do know to give us some peace, said Barbara Sullivan, who's Brian's mother. We want to bring all of Brian home, not just bits and pieces. There's a family that knows, and they should do the right thing, she said. So I'm assuming she might be referring to Derek Murray's family or anybody that knows him, because he was the prime suspect. Yeah, the family Sullivan references is connected to the lead suspect, Derek Murray. He passed away of natural causes in 2016. Philip Trebia is an investigator with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and has been involved with the case for over a decade. He says, quote, there have been lots of conversations with confidential informants pointed in the direction of Derek Murray as being the person involved. As far as surveillance, it was clear it was Derek Murray. So apparently they have surveillance footage of some kind, which is always helpful. Trivia says Murray's family won't reveal anything to investigators, but say it is clear that they do have information. He says they already know who took his life. Just come forward with where his body is so we can help the Sullivan family. If they were to come forward with their full name, everything, they cannot be charged. They cannot be criminally prosecuted for anything involving Brian's death. We just want to know where Brian's remains are so the family can have closure. Absolutely. Through the years, the Sullivan family has worked continuously to keep their son's name public with the hopes that one day they will have closure. What would he be doing now? We just wonder, and we've been robbed of that. Of course, I'd like to see somebody held accountable, but it's unfortunately not going to happen, said the mother or the father. The family is still offering a reward for information that could lead to the whereabouts of Brian's remains. Anyone with more information is asked to contact the Monroe County Sheriff's Office at 585-753-4900. So that is a little bit of additional information in Brian's case. It's just unfortunate that the prime suspect and apparently at least some video surveillance, some kind of evidence, because they mentioned they had according to the surveillance, that it was pretty clear that it was Derek Murray. He's passed away in 2016. I don't want to seem crass, but his family could give information, but unfortunately it sounds like they're not going to. So hopefully one of these days somebody will say something and they'll be able to bring Brian home to rest, or to lay him to rest and get some closure. All right. Forgot to advance my slide. That was for the article I just read. Next, we have Sahara Thomas. Let me go grab her information. So Sierra went missing on November 21st, 2002 from Atlantic City, New Jersey. They did classify her as endangered missing. She's a black female. She was just 19 years old at the time. 5 foot to 5'2", 140 to 160 pounds. She was last seen wearing a waist-length black Guess coat with the brand's logo on the left pocket, a dark blue or black shirt, light blue sweatpants with writing on the bottom of the right leg, and the number 33 on her left thigh. I'm assuming that's a tattoo, or maybe on the pants. And she was also wearing a multicolored scarf. She had black hair and brown eyes, and her nickname was Sweetie. So Sierra was last seen in the 800 block of North Maryland Avenue in the BACK, Maryland neighborhood of Atlantic City, New Jersey on November 21st, 2002. Her sister had driven her to visit the father of one of her daughters. Thomas Sierra said that she would call when she wanted to be picked up. Her sister waited in the car for over an hour, then went to a nearby store to pay some bills. Sierra never called her and has never been seen or never been heard from again. She was carrying $33 in cash at the time of her disappearance. Sorry, my cat is back again. Sorry. Discipline my cat again. He's crawling on stuff. Sierra attended, or her boyfriend was the last person to see her. She attended Atlantic City High School. She had previously held jobs in 2 resort hotels. She worked at Caesars at the time of her disappearance and lived with her 2 young daughters. She had signed up for an adult education program. She hoped to complete her high school diploma. Her family said that they could not think of any reason why she would just walk out of her life. Says that she, at the time, she may be in the company of an adult male. Foul play is suspected in her case, and obviously it is unsolved. So that's the basic information. So if you have any information regarding Sierra, her possible situation, whereabouts, what may have happened to her, please contact the Atlantic City Police Department at 609-347-5766. And I believe I do have, actually for Sierra, I have, because I got this off the, if it'll come up, the A Voice for the Lost Facebook group. And I just wanted to read. So credit to whoever did this post. It was a 4-part post. I'm just going to read the 4th part. Let me get down to it. I know what's close to the top. Okay, here it is. The most recent, this was posted in February 23rd, by a Voice for the Lost Facebook group. And it says how you can help. Sierra Thomas will be 41 years old right now. Undoubtedly, her daughters will be celebrating their life accomplishments with their mom, and Sierra would be living the life she intended to live. It is hard to fathom that those responsible for Sierra's disappearance went on with their lives and were able to enjoy all the things that Sierra would never be able to again. They most likely celebrated Thanksgiving with their loved ones just a week later. Sierra has missed the last 21 years of Thanksgivings with her family. Sierra's birthday is December 12th. She was not home to celebrate turning 20 years old that year, the year that she went missing. A month after Sierra disappeared, Christmas and New Year's were celebrated. 2 little girls, aged 4 and 1, her 2 youngest daughters, did not get to have Christmas or any other holiday with their mother ever again. Those responsible have not been held accountable for taking such a beautiful person from her loved ones. For those that have knowledge of what occurred that day back on November 21st, 2002, the feelings of guilt must weigh heavily as well. Sierra's family can only hope that the guilt eventually weighs such a burden on their souls that they come forward. Time will continue to move forward without closure for Sierra's loved ones unless someone speaks up. It has become apparent in this case that many people in the 800 block of North Maryland Avenue did indeed hear things that day. Some have been willing to share that they heard what they described as a firearm GSW or GS coming from, it gives the name of somebody that's not named, from a male and his mother's home that day. It was not the same person that was, which happens to be the same day that Sierra was there talking to this male. It is also the same day Sierra disappeared. Whatever occurred that day unfolded in broad daylight in a neighborhood where all the homes are close together. To anyone that saw or heard what happened to Sierra that day, it could be the smallest thing that you are keeping in out of fear. It could be a rumor you heard. Maybe you don't want to get involved. Just remind yourself, by not coming forward, you are preventing a family from bringing their loved one home. Those responsible took a mom from her young daughters. They took a sister, a daughter. They took Sierra Thomas's life from her. It cannot be said enough that only you can help. Sierra's daughters need you to help bring their mother home. Says if you were friends with this male, here on YouTube, I can't unless it has been publicly named by law enforcement or incredible news sources. I can't give out names, or I could get zapped for a slander or defamation, just in case somebody happens to see it that knows about this case. But you can go to this group and read the names or the name. So if you're friends with this male back then or even now, and you know anything regarding the day Sierra went missing, please contact authorities. It says at this time, this male is in Nevada. It says his daughter has been reconnected with her sister and Sierra's family and no longer communicates with her father. We also ask everyone to keep sharing Sierra's story in hopes that it reaches the right person and it compels them to come forward. To anyone around the 800 block of Maryland Avenue in Atlantic City, New Jersey, we ask that you post her pictures wherever possible. We continue to ask everyone to think about how you would feel if this was your missing loved one. Exactly. How would you feel if someone kept the answer to themselves for 21 years instead of coming forward and helping bring closure to your family? On behalf of the Thomas family and loved ones, a voice for the lost and unsolved, we'll continue to fight for justice and do all we can to help bring Sierra Thomas home where she belongs. If you have any information, no matter how big or small, regarding the disappearance of Sierra, please contact the Atlantic City Police Department at 609-347-5766. And it says here, if you're not comfortable doing so, please email a voice for the lost at gmail.com, and they will forward the information to the authorities. So I just wanted to bring you that because I deep dived on Google page after page for any articles, any other information about this case. Unfortunately, I went, like I said, went waist deep into Google, page after page of Google results. Could not find anything, but I just wanted to share. Whoever wrote this, credit to whoever it was, but it came from a Voice for the Lost Facebook group, which I am in, I believe. So please do check out that group, and you can read the names and the other information there. All right, that was Sierra's case. And once again, I forgot to advance my slide. That is the slide that's a Voice for the Lost, the Facebook group. So next we have a baby. His kids tugged me so hard. There it is. Making sure I was on the right one. This is Richard Lee Haynes Jr. He went missing on September 12th, 2004 from Kittitas, Washington. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's Kittitas. He was just 11 years old when he went missing. When he went missing, he was 5 foot to 5'1", 90 pounds. Last seen wearing a red hat and red or gray coat, brown hair, blue eyes. It says he was addressed by his nickname, which was Cody, and he has a round birthmark on his inner right thigh. So Cody, which is his nickname, lived with his father, Richard Lee Haynes Sr., his 4 sisters, and Richard's girlfriend, Marla J. Harding. Sometimes she is referred to as Maria Jane Hardin or Marla Harding Haynes. They lived in a second-floor apartment in downtown Kittitas, Washington in 2004. Cody disappeared from his family's home between 4 and 5 p.m. on September 12, 2004. Apparently, he had refused to wash the dishes, and Harding is the girlfriend, the father's girlfriend. Okay. The father's girlfriend, had punished him by making him sit at the kitchen table for 4 hours before sending him to his bedroom at about midnight the previous day. So I'm getting the Elijah Vu vibes, although Richard was a little bit older, but the punishment thing, because there's more, I believe, that happened to little Cody here. Harding told Cody's sisters not to go near his room and told Cody not to leave the room for any reason. Evidently, no one checked on him for close to 18 hours after he was sent to his room. Richard, his father, was at work when Cody was sent to his room, but came home later and then left the house in the early morning hours to look for car parts. And he did not return until 4 p.m. of that evening of that next day. So it says that Cody apparently had slipped out unnoticed during this time and arranged his stuffed animals on the bed to make it look like he was in the bed asleep. He took a black and green camouflage pattern bag of clothing with him, but it was later found in a shed near his house. Investigators believe Cody may have hidden the bag there and planned to return for it later. His bicycle was also found in the shed. So that's red flaggy right there, that the bag he had packed to take with him if he was going to run away from this situation he was in, but his bag was found in the shed on the property, and his bicycle was found. A little bit red flaggy. There were a few possible sightings of Cody in the local area shortly after his disappearance. A neighbor may have seen him the morning he disappeared, and someone believes they saw him eating chips at a Johnny's Serve You later that day. Neither sighting was ever confirmed. Richard, the father, notified the police that Cody was gone after he arrived home again that afternoon. Authorities believed at first that Cody had run away from home because he was unhappy at the way that he was disciplined and that he might try to travel to his mother, who lives in Florida. Cody did not arrive in Florida, and his mother has been eliminated as a suspect in his disappearance. A week after Cody vanished, his sisters were removed from the father's home and placed into foster care. The removal order alleged abuse, neglect, and lack of supervision in the household, and was based mainly on the fact that Cody had been made to stay in his room for 18 hours without being allowed to eat, drink, or use the bathroom, and without being checked on by an adult. Harding, the father's girlfriend, stated that he was a rebellious and deceitful child and needed discipline. Richard and Harding, who married sometime after September of 2004, have hired lawyers and will not cooperate with the investigators about Cody's disappearance. The rest of his family has cooperated fully with police. Before the Haynes children were taken from their home, Richard refused to allow police to question the other children. The family has a history with Washington Child Protective Services. Late in 2001 and again in 2002, Richard was reported to CPS for possibly physically and emotionally abusing and neglecting his children. Witnesses stated that the Haynes children were made to stand outside for long periods of time in the wintertime without coats or shoes. Both times, the allegations were found to be without merit. Cody was in the 6th grade in 2004. He and his parents were originally public school students, but became homeschooled after the CPS complaints were made. In February of 2005, police did obtain a search warrant for the residence. They had interviewed Cody's sisters several times since their placement in foster care. Initially, the girls said nothing had happened to their brother, but later, the oldest sister told investigators, trigger warning for anybody. I should have put my trigger warning banner up. The oldest sister did tell investigators that he had been assaulted severely inside his home the day that he vanished. Police searched for traces of blood in the apartment's kitchen to back up the sister's story, but the flooring had been replaced after Cody disappeared and without the landlord's knowledge or consent. Another big red flag, obviously. A second search was made, and police seized a computer and Richard's Chevy Suburban. They also searched the girlfriend's car. Authorities made what they termed a, quote, significant discovery during one of these searches, but have not elaborated on what exactly they found. It says Cody may have left of his own accord, but after receiving the information from his sister, investigators announced that he could be the victim of a homicide. They have no evidence that his life was taken inside his home, but the fact that he has not been heard from in so long is indicative that he met with foul play. And obviously it says due to his age and family background, he is considered to be in danger. His case was turned over to the FBI in October of 2005, and it remains unsolved. So that was a lot of information, basic information. I do have an article that I think talks to his mother and gives a little bit more information about the family members who were uncooperative. But if you have any information about Cody's possible whereabouts, what possibly could have happened to him, you can contact the Catitas Police Department at 509-925-8534. And remember to go back and advance my slide this time. Yeah, I do have an article. Get a little drink. My throat's getting dry from reading. This comes from NBC News, and it is from November 27th of 2004. So about 20 years ago. But that's the most recent article I could find on this case. But it did give a little bit of additional information. So it says family refuses to help in search for a missing boy. People here have come together to try to find an 11-year-old boy missing since September, with two important exceptions: his father and the father's living girlfriend. People here have come together to try to find an 11-year-old boy missing. I read that part. A community search and a candlelight vigil for Richard Cody Haynes Jr. took place without Richard Rick Haynes, the father, and Marla J. Harding, the father's girlfriend, who have retained a lawyer and refused to talk formally with investigators. Police Chief Steve Dunnigan said, quote, their behavior is definitely curious, to say the least. It does make us ask, why does he have to have an attorney to help us find his son? Dunnigan, who leads a two-member force in this central Washington town, a small town of about 1,100, said police, quote, don't have squat in the search for Cody, who was last seen September 11th at his family's home in an old two-story apartment. After dinner, it said that he and the girlfriend argued. He refused to, he was disciplined. He was made, I think, to sit in the kitchen until midnight, and he was sent to his bedroom and not checked on for 18 hours after that. At about 2:30 a.m., Mr. Haynes told us that he left the home to go looking for car parts. The chief said the 43-year-old Haynes is a tow truck operator in Ellensburg who is restoring a car, the newspaper said. In preliminary discussions, the chief said Haynes told investigators that he drove hundreds of miles before returning home at around 4 p.m. Sunday, the next day. He reported the boy missing 2 hours later. The chief visited the home September 17th, but Harding, 39, told him he could not question the girls. He made a referral for suspected child neglect. I almost said the A word. I don't think I can say the abuse word. To CPS, and the state workers removed the 4 girls from the home September 21st. On October 22nd, the chief and a detective asked for a formal interview with Haynes. He and Harding went to the police station, but when the chief asked for a private interview with Haynes, Harding objected. At that point, they lawyered up and said that they weren't talking anymore. Haynes told the spokesman review that he would not discuss his son's disappearance without his attorneys present. He said, quote, I'm not interested in talking about it. I'm not talking without my attorney present, no way. Now, this is just my opinion, but unless you had something to hide, why would you not want to help police find your missing 11-year-old son? It's just beyond me. Anyway, asked if it was possible that his son was deceased, Haynes said, oh no, not a chance. He's not dead. He's not dead. Haynes, whose phone number is unpublished, and Harding could not be reached for comment. The police chief said the boy's mother has served, his biological mother, had served a prison time in Florida for child neglect and cannot legally have contact with Cody, but she has been eliminated as a suspect. Cody's disappearance is now posted on the website of NCMEC. The chief said he would welcome any help the public can provide. He said it is a small town. We don't have this kind of thing happen here ever. So just a little bit. But yeah, in my opinion, If you're a dad and your 11-year-old son is missing, or even the girlfriend, if your boyfriend's significant other's 11-year-old child is missing, why wouldn't you want to help? I've got my opinions on this one, but when we get done, I'll see what you guys have to say. So yeah, like I said, when I'm doing, I'm almost done. I think I got a couple more. I will get to all the questions and comments. So pop all your questions, comments in. Please, if you can remember to put the name of the missing that we're talking about, so I won't get confused about what case we're talking about. All right, so next we have another baby, Kelly Jr. Hollan. Let me get his information. Kelly went missing on February 13th, 1982 from Hindman, Kentucky. This is classified as a non-family abduction. He was just 6 years old, 4 foot, 60 pounds. He was last seen wearing a blue and white shirt, a blue hooded windbreaker jacket with the zipper torn at the bottom, blue jeans, and brown boots. He was born with a cleft palate. He has a speech impediment as a result, and he cannot pronounce certain words clearly. He has brown hair, blue eyes, a surgical scar on the left side of his face between his nose and upper lip, the cleft, and his teeth have gaps between them. So the day that he disappeared, Kelly's school canceled classes on February 13th, 1982 due to a heavy snowstorm. He stayed at home with his mother, Judy Moore, in their residence on Larks Lane in Pine Tree Hollow, which is in Knox County, Kentucky, approximately 5 miles outside of the town of Hindman. Kelly went outside to play in the family's front yard at approximately 11 a.m. Moore stated which is the mother, stated she told him he was not to leave the yard. She said that she last checked on him at approximately 4 p.m. At this point, Moore went to a neighbor's home to answer a phone call. She did not have a phone of her own. When she returned, Kelly was no longer in the yard. She assumed that he'd gone to a friend's house to watch television. She prepared dinner at around 6 p.m., but she was unable to locate Kelly at that time, and had dinner without him. Now, this is a 6-year-old child. Lost my place. 1 second. She had dinner without him. She then went to Kelly's friend's residence to pick him up and was told that he had not been there at all that day. Moore says when she realized her son was missing, she went to her boyfriend's grandmother's home and asked to use the phone to call the police. Now, this next statement is very bizarre. She stated that she was not permitted to call the police until midnight that night. Don't know. Moore's family members began searching the area for him at that time, but she says the police search did not begin until dawn the next day, or that morning. Investigators initially assumed that Kelly had wandered off, perhaps to one of several abandoned mines in the area, and possibly succumbed to, it was very cold. They said he possibly could have frozen. Kelly's parents divorced several years before he disappeared, and he lived with his mother and her boyfriend in a rented house. His older brother and sister were living with their grandmother in Jackson, Kentucky, because the mother evidently had epilepsy and had a hard time caring for the children. Then why would they leave if she had epilepsy? Why would they remove the other children, the older children, to live with the grandmother and not remove the 6-year-old, unless they thought that the boyfriend would look after him? At any rate, Moore was questioned and maintained her innocence in her son's disappearance. Police did dig under her concrete porch looking for Kelly's remains, but they did not find anything. Moore says she believes that Kelly's father may have taken him or knew who had taken him. Kelly's father is now deceased. His mother has not been ruled out as a suspect in the disappearance. Authorities believe someone local was involved in Kelly's disappearance. It says that many of his neighbors in 1982 did have criminal histories. I wonder, we were talking last night in live stream, I wonder how many registered SOs were in that neighborhood at the time. No trace of Kelly was found after an exhaustive search. He has never been seen again. His case is now classified as a possible abduction. After his disappearance, there were tips that placed him in Florida, possibly the cities of Tampa, or a really long one, Thanatisasa. I totally butchered that. His case remains unsolved. So if you have any information about little Cody here, just 6 years old when he went missing, please contact the Kentucky State Police at 606-435-6069. And I do have an article. I think it is an interview with the mother, if I remember correctly, and it's may not be. I bookmarked 2 or 3 different articles about this one. But this is from WHAS11.com, and it is from October of 2018. Let me advance my slide before I forget. It advanced on here. I don't know if it's going to advance on. There we go. So that is an age progression you see there on the right to age 40 of Kelly Cody. All right, let me get back to the article. So it says unsolved, missing in the mountains. 6-year-old Kelly Hollan Jr. Am I on the wrong? Hold on. Oh no, I'm on the right one. Okay. The Kelly and the Cody had me confused. I was on the right one. Okay. 6-year-old Kelly Hollan Jr. went outside to play on February 12th, 1982. He never came home. Detectives do not think, unfortunately, they will ever find Kelly, but his mom said she believes he is still out there. So we'll see what the mom has to say. On a cold February night in 1982, Judy Moore, which is his mother, called for her son to come in for dinner. Despite the winter weather in Knott County, her 6-year-old son, Kelly Hollan Jr., begged to go outside and play that day. According to the mother, she said, quote, I said, no, you can't go outside. It's too cold. He kept begging and begging, and I said, okay, but don't go outside the yard. The ads. When the day turned to night, Moore and her family yelled and yelled, called for him, but he did not come home. It has been 36 years, longer than that now, because this is from 2018, since Kelly went outside to play. The mom says, quote, well, I put on his jacket. It had a tear on the bottom of the zipper. He hugged me, and he said, Mom, I love you. That was the last time Moore said that she saw her son. Moore said Kelly used to watch television with his friend down the street. The two loved the Dukes of Hazzard. I went up there, and the friend's mom said that he hadn't been there all day. And they said, we haven't seen him. Moore says she called the police, but the horrible weather derailed any investigations. I'm still wondering about this when she went over to the friends or I think it was her boyfriend's grandmother's home or whatever, and they would not allow, she said they wouldn't allow her to call the police until midnight that night. I have lots of problems with that statement, but in a chat, let me know in chat or comments if you're watching replay. She says once the trooper had collected the initial and necessary information, he and the rescue squad searched the area for approximately 1 hour. Master Trooper Jody Sims of the Kentucky State Police said, quote, and due to manpower issues and heavy snowfall at that time, the search was initially called off. Moore says she was angry that night. She said, quote, I wasn't scared. Well, I guess I was in a way because I was afraid of what happened. She says, then I guess I was mostly angry because nothing was being done. Police searched the next morning and continued searching in the coming weeks. Another search was conducted, she said, on, she thinks, February 16th, which rescue squad troopers and approximately 50 volunteers assisted in a more widespread search of the area. No luck in locating Cody. The winter weather and rough terrain never revealed any clues leading to Kelly or his remains. It's been a long-standing unknown, Sims said. Sims said the delay of the search probably caused issues with the investigation. Thinking back in that time period, it was very vital to get on that initially. The closer they could hope to find the child in the area, the better. So part 3, what happened? With no discoveries, detectives were never sure if Kelly was taken or his life was taken or if he ran away. His mom says there's too many ifs. You know what I mean? I mean, there's no answers. Community and family members had several suspicions, but police could not prove anyone right. You guys know where my suspicions are. Suspicion swirled around the family, focusing on a suspect who knew Kelly the best, his mom. Even Moore's sister, so the mom's sister even said, allegedly, she said, even her own sister thought that she took her son's life. And that's according to the mom. She says, quote, I was told by police that my sister said that I'm going to put this the way that she worded it because this is the way she worded it. She says, quote, I was told by police that my sister said I killed the kid and she helped me bury him. Quote, I don't know if that really happened, but that was what I was told. Moore said that her sister said it never happened, but soon stopped talking to her. I think I would stop talking to her too. That's just my opinion, There was a grand jury investigation that was conducted, and there was never a conclusion as to whether they considered foul play or missing. But I think there were some questions about some issues, Sims said. I think Sims is one of the investigators. Moore, the mother, was never indicted. Sims said, quote, there was never anything that led to anyone, whether family or acquaintances, being charged or indicted in this case. When asked if she took the life or knew anything about the disappearance of her son, the mom said no. She says, quote, Lord, no way. I'd give anything to have him back now. She says she was confused and angry when fingers pointed, the pain taking a toll on her. She says, quote, why am I the only suspect? What did I do wrong? I went down to 70 pounds. I was wanting to not be on this earth anymore. Moore says she thinks that Kelly's father had something to do with his disappearance, but nothing came from her accusation. Nothing came of any tips or leads. Weeks without answers turned into months and turned into years. Kelly's face on missing ads aged while his memory faded. Detective Sims says, quote, time has a way of maybe listening to many. I think many who were involved, who lived in the area, or who were family or friends, have passed on. But Moore, the mother, is still alive and she still has hope. Kelly's case sat stagnant until 5 years ago, and this is from 2018. Once again, when investigators received information on a possible grave in the area, several troopers and detectives came to this location, found what they believed was being described as a grave, but unfortunately, through several hours or days worth of digging and excavating, they were unable to locate any type of remains or clue or instance of anyone being buried there. That led detectives to believe they may never find Kelly or what happened to him. I would imagine that there is probably no chance, just through decomp and animal, wildlife, so forth, This is according to one of the investigators. That would make it nearly impossible. Moore does not believe the investigation is over, though. She believes Kelly may still be out there. She says, quote, Kelly, I love you so much. Just let me know. Say hi, Mom. That's all I ask. That's all I'd ask. I wouldn't want anything else from him. Sim said he understands her hope despite a grim situation. Until you know for certain, you still have to hang on to that thread of hope that he could still be alive. With this much time passing, the odds aren't in favor of that, but you still have to hang on to that possibility. And Moore has a message to people who might think that she took the life of her son. She says, quote, all I can say is if anybody thinks I took the life of my son, may God have mercy on them. How would you feel if it was your child? I mean, I understand the mom and have empathy for her, but maybe it wasn't her. Maybe it was some of the other family. Maybe, I don't know. She says, I quote, I'll live with this until the day I die or Kelly comes home. So if you have any information, once again, please call Kentucky State Police at post 13 at 606-435-6069. So I think that was the last one. Let me go back and check my slides. Yeah, that was the last one. All right, so those were all our cases. So now let me go down and get a drink first. And I'm gonna mute my camera and my mic for just a minute. I promise I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Allergy season. I apologize. I had to blow my nose. I didn't want to be rude and blow my nose on camera. Anyway, hold on. Let me get my screen right so I can read the comments. We didn't do right or not. There we go. Okay. All right. Let me make my way up to the comments and try to remember the last one that I read. Thank you, everybody, for being here and making it through my droning of very important information. I'm making my way up. Lots of comments. Thank you, guys, everybody that's here. I see 11 people here. That's good for me on a Monday night. Thank you, everybody that's here now. Who's hung in there. If you want to hang in there, I'll get to your questions. Anybody who's watching on replay who doesn't want to watch the questions part, thank you for watching. If you haven't hit the like button before you leave. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Like, share, comment. Be greatly appreciated. I think okay. Yeah, some of these comments are looking familiar, so I'm getting yes, thank you, Junior. Junior says, yeah, don't upvoted. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. It helps the channel out tremendously because anybody who wasn't here earlier, I said at the beginning, small channels like mine and channels that true crime channels that don't cover the big national highly publicized cases get, anything helps. Like, shares, comments, watching videos, watching live streams. If you even just put them in the background and listen to them or just let them play. And we still need, we're over 2,600 of the 3,000 watch hours needed for limited monetization, which means I can do memberships and accept super thanks, super stickers, super chats. So anything you can do. Plus, all those things also help. YouTube pushes it out to more people. That way, more people hear all this important information. Hey, there's my dandy. There's Dandy Linus. Says, I'm late. Hello, everyone. Thanks for supporting the channel. Absolutely. Good to see you, Dandy. I was getting worried. I hadn't seen or heard from you in a few days. Glad you're doing all right, girly. Dandy is another one, my main mod here. Junior is also, there's Junior. Also, one of my mods. Very good mod, very good person. Alright, let me see what we got. Questions, comments, anybody that's come in while I was reading. Yep, Miss Barbara would know. Miss Barbara Hall says, yes, not knowing where your loved one is a nightmare. Absolutely. You know, Miss Barbara, thoughts, prayers, good vibes to you. I was reading some articles and looking at some stuff about Timmy's case last night, so I'm definitely I'm going to dig in on that one and get a live stream or a video done, a case of the week for Timmy. And that whole, because somebody, I don't think she's here tonight, I can't remember who it was, that whole Fredericktown, Missouri thing with the Durante Martin, and there was a couple of others that were seen with the same man and then ended up supposedly either self-harm or, yeah, that whole thing. I get what you're saying. Like we were talking about it last night. I see what you guys are saying now about Fredericktown, Missouri. I'm definitely going to dig in on that too, and check out all those cases and the link to this one man. I can't remember his name. You guys, I'm sure Miss Barbara or Miss Marion or somebody knows. But one gentleman is linked somehow to about 3 or 4 cases. It's unbelievable, just from the little bit that I read about it. Yeah, Miss Barbara says she is grateful that she got her son back and knows where he is now. Absolutely, Miss Barbara. Bless you. Junior says, so they have a suspect in Sierra's case. Let me go back to that one. And yes, apparently they're, now once again, for anybody that's not familiar with YouTube policy or my personal policies and also YouTube policies, when it comes to true crime, and like I said, I will find the link from in Sierra's case. The additional information I read from came from a Voice for the Lost Facebook group. It did give the name of a possible alleged person of interest or suspect, but this person that I read when I researched, I never found his name mentioned by law enforcement or credible news sources, so I can't really say it on here because, on off chance that somebody might see it that knows, and I could get, zapped for slander or defamation or, and then plus, and I'm not saying because I don't know enough about this person or this case to say whether I think this person that they were talking about could have had anything to do with it. I'm not putting the name out there just on the off chance that this person didn't have anything to do with this crime. And a lot of YouTube creators, true crime creators, do put names out there that end up having nothing to do with the case, and it ruins that person's life. They get hounded, even if, we saw it in the Koberger case. People were naming all these so-and-so. Hoodie guy did it, the boyfriend did it, and just, so that's why I don't, it's not that I don't maybe have an opinion about it, but I don't put those names out there just if they haven't been named by law enforcement or credible news sources or in court documents. I don't put the names out there. But like I said, in Sierra's case, I will put a link. I'll try to remember to put a link to the post from the Facebook group on my community page when I get done here. And you go to a Voice for the Lost. Right there, you can see it on the right hand of the slide. That's the Facebook group. And you just scroll down, and the part I read from was maybe about 3 or 4 posts down in there. But I will find a link to it, so you guys can feel free to go and read the names and the information that was in there. I'm not just, I don't give any names out that unless they've been publicly named by law enforcement or news sources, credible news sources. But yeah, so apparently, to a long-winded answer to your question, Junior, apparently there is a potential suspect or a person of interest, and I don't know if it was law enforcement or just people who live there or both. But at any rate, but that's a good. Thank you for your question, Junior. Oh, Junior said he'd be right back. He's got to let his. He might not have even heard that long-winded explanation. Or no, this comment. So he's probably back. This comment. I'm so behind in comments. He had to go let his cat in. Uh, yeah, Miss Barbara. Hashtag justice for Timmy D's. That is Miss. Anybody who doesn't know, that is Miss Barbara's son, one of her sons. And I believe, Miss Barbara, didn't you tell me your other son was also deceased? But yeah, I'm going to be definitely looking, working up Timmy's case, because I know Mr. Steve from True Crime Web is all what I see Miss Barbara in Mr. Steve's chats and his live streams, and we're always talking about Timmy, getting justice for Timmy, and the whole family for Miss Barbara, and I believe Miss Marion is Miss Barbara's sister, if I remember correctly from last night. I was a little bit loopy last night. We did a 3-hour last night, but it was worth it. We got all that information in. We had some good conversation about the important stuff. We had a good music conversation to lighten it up for a minute, to, lighten the mood a little bit. And then we got back to business. So, yes, definitely justice for Timmy and for everybody. Yeah, Miss Marion says we will get justice for Timmy Dees. Absolutely. Yeah, Miss Barbara says whatever case there was, I think we had what, 2 or 3 kids cases, but if you're talking about the Cody case, Miss Barbara says this is so sad. I don't understand how parents can hurt their children. Absolutely. I would assume you were talking about the now I forgot which, didn't forget, but the Kelly Cody case where they made him, or either that one or the one before where they made him stand. The girlfriend of the father made him stand, sit in the kitchen until midnight, and then sent him to his room and didn't check on him for 18 hours, and then he disappeared. Horrible, horrible. Oh goodness. Glad you're back. Junior says he's back. It is freezing outside, 28 and snowing. God bless you, sir. I'll stay down here in Arkansas with my. I don't know. It's chilly here tonight. We have a freeze warning tonight. We're having down here in Arkansas what they call our blackberry winter. Then we go through a spell right before it starts. 100 degrees with 100% humidity down here. We have another little cold spell. The days aren't usually too bad. They're pretty nice, maybe in the 50s or 60s, but then at nighttime it gets freezing or below, and that'll last usually a couple of weeks or so, and then it'll, like I said, turn into Africa hot. Was that movie with the guy that played Ferris Bueller? He said that he was in the army or military, and he got off the bus and said it's like Africa hot down here. That's the way it gets in here in Arkansas. If Mind of Monsters was here, she could relate. She lives in Florida, so I'm sure it's even worse in Florida. But anyway, Junior, stay warm. Yep, Dandy's absolutely right. Dandy says advances in technology make it near impossible to get away with crimes these days. Yep. That's why in these cold cases, that's why it is so important that hopefully if, well, maybe not so much with the missing persons where they've never found remains, but on these cold cases where they have found remains, and with all the technology that we have now, advancement in DNA and genetic genealogy, a lot of these cold cases where they have found remains are getting solved due to the advances and then these newer cases too are getting with the DNA and technology. with the phone tracking, phone pinging, geofencing, all that, surveillance cameras are everywhere now. So you're right, Dandy. It makes it harder these days to get away with anything. Now I'm thinking, speaking of, maybe not. Last night we were talking about the Raleigh strain case. At some point yesterday, they found his bank card or debit card down by the river. But I was thinking, oh, they released Chris from Mob Crew was doing a live. I'm gonna have to watch the replay. Apparently they have some body cam footage now. I know I'm getting off topic, but anyway, that's fine. Apparently they found some body cam footage from the Raleigh strain case of an officer that kind of talked to Raleigh in passing and asked how he was doing, and he said he was doing okay, and he walked on. I have it. They just showed a little clip of it on the national news, but I'm gonna have to go watch Chris's live, or if anybody has any information about that, feel free to throw it in chat. Now that we got all the important information taken care of, I'm just going to answer questions, go through comments, but if there's any other missing persons cases, cold cases, or anything, any of the cases we've been following in the news currently, you can, any new information that I haven't heard, feel free to throw it in chat. Yeah, Michigan Wifey was talking to Miss Barbara Hall, but she says, I'm reading up on him now. First story I read, they say you're relentless in your search for answers. That's a mama bear. Yes, I was, Miss Barbara, I was reading, and I'm not laughing. I'm laughing, but just brought a smile to my face. I was reading all the, or a lot of articles, interviews with you about your relentlessness in finding Timmy. And I was just like, you go, Miss Barbara, you go. I was just so proud of you. I brought tears to my eyes. I'm like, I know that woman kind of through YouTube. You can know somebody through YouTube. But yes, I know I have to get in and read some more articles. But yeah, Miss Barbara, God bless you. You keep that fight up. You are not alone. You have all these wonderful people here in this community and the Facebook communities. I'm going to start digging in now. Mr. Steve, I'm sure, has done everything he can. So yeah, you're not alone in your fight, Miss Barbara and Miss Marion. Nobody is ever alone. As long as we are here as a community and as creators working together to bring awareness to these cases, none of these victims' families that are still fighting to either find sorry, I got a hair on my face that's bugging me. That's either fighting for justice or looking for their loved ones. They are not alone as long as good people like us, you guys, are, as long as we're keeping their names out there. These families are not fighting alone. We're there in spirit if we can't be there in a person. All right. There's Michelle C., another one of my wonderful mods. Hello, my dear. Good to see you back again after last night, or 3-hour last night. We're almost 2 hours now, but I got through the information and told everybody, anybody who was watching or watching replay, that if they didn't have any questions or comments, that, the rest was just going to be, I was going to answer questions and comments. That way they could, I like to get and Junior actually suggested to me that if I, I like doing the video premieres. That way I can be in the chats with you. But after the 3-hour live I did last night, I did not have time to record the video for this one to do it as a premiere. So I said, well, I'll just do a live. But I just went through all the information. Junior suggested, like Mr. Steve does, he goes through all the information. And then at the end, he goes back through comments and answers questions and reads comments. And that way it's more uniform. And anybody who doesn't want to stick around, if they're watching on replay or in live, if they don't want to stick around for any questions or comments, at least all the important information, they get that information before they leave. So thank you, Junior, for that suggestion. I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, because that's the way Mr. Steve always does his. And I've watched everything that he's ever recorded or live streamed, or all his experiments and recreations. I've watched everything he's done. But anyway. Yep, Miss Barbara says, I will never go away. That's right. Yes, ma'am. Never give up. Yeah, Michelle's putting in some of my donation links. Yeah, don't feel obligated, but any and all donations are greatly appreciated. I finally, just on a side note, was going to apply. I've been doing job applications, and I was going to apply for. I was doing it online as a. It's called a Spark driver. It's Walmart and other places. You basically either go and shop for the groceries, or they have them bagged up. You pick them up and deliver them to the home of the person who ordered the groceries or whatever. And I had to have the insurance card, a picture of the insurance card for my vehicle, and we couldn't find it. So today we had to go. That's one of the things we did too, besides grocery shopping at Wally World. We had to go by the insurance place and get another copy of the insurance card so I could finish filling out that application. But anyway, I'm still hunting for a job, so any donations are will be greatly appreciated. Oh, there. Speaking of, I don't know if he's still here. Mr. Steve was here. Hello, Mr. Steve. It's always an honor to have Mr. Steve here. I hope you're getting some rest. What is today? Monday. So you're probably leaving tomorrow on Wednesday. Mr. Steve, anybody that's here that may not know, Mr. Steve is former law enforcement, did everything in law enforcement. He was a certified CSI tech. He and his wonderful team of whoever goes out with him. I know Carolyn from Unearthed Secrets goes out sometimes with him. Chris from the mob crew and everybody that works behind the scenes goes out free of charge to help families look for the loved ones and help get closure with some of these cold cases. So they do good work, boots on the ground. So, Mr. Steve, if you're still here, I don't know how far behind I am in comments. I'm not 30 minutes behind in comments. He might still be here. I don't know. Be safe out there. Keep fighting the good fight. We, thoughts, prayers, and good vibes to you and the team always from everybody. So everybody probably already said hello to Mr. Steve. But Mr. Steve is a wonderful person. And Mrs. Steve. We can't forget Mrs. Steve. She's a wonderful lady. And Junior will probably have a comment, or if Dave was here, Mrs. Steve would have to be a good lady to put up with Mr. Steve. Both Mr. Steve and Mrs. Steve are wonderful people. Absolutely. Yep, everybody's saying hi to Mr. Steve. So if you guys have any, I'm slowly working my way down. If you guys have any questions or comments of what we talked about as far as tonight, or with any other cases, or anything going on in the news with anything we've been following, just throw it in there. Or if you're watching replay, if you have a question about any of the cases that we covered tonight, put them in the comments and I will get to you. Oh, wait a minute. I missed something. She's probably gone. Good night, Michigan Wifey. Thank you for being here. She's probably already gone. That was 9:20 or at 9:18. Yeah, 9:18. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's a new name and a new face. Welcome, Edward Hertzig. Good to have you here. But he's hiding something. I don't know what case you're talking about, but it could be on these. That's why I put suspicious circumstances, because all these cases have some suspicious elements to them. So welcome, Edward. It's good to have you here. Yeah, once again, Michelle says, don't forget to hit that like button. Yeah, Miss Marion says, thank you all for being here and putting your stories out there. Absolutely, Miss Marion. That's what we're here for. Got lots of good people in my community and Mr. Steve's community, which I think me and Mr. Steve share some community members. And Miss Frankie at the think tank, and just go to, if you want to know the ones to watch, the good channels, the good people, and when it comes to true crime, go to the home page of my channel, scroll down to where it says Visit our friends below, all those links. Of course, Mr. Steve is #1 up there. Chris at the Mall Crew, Carolyn and Her Secrets. Dave, Al on the Prowl is there. The Think Tank, Miss Frankie Rose is there. Ruckus is there. Forgot who else is there. I think I added maybe Honeybee. Anyway, any of those channels, I would not steer you wrong with those channels. I watch them enough to know that they are the good people that do it for the right reason. So, if you want no BS, no hype, just the facts, no drama, no sensationalism, check out those channels, especially True Crime Web. I have a kind of bias towards True Crime Web, Mr. and Mrs. Steve. Mr. Steve said earlier, 9:28, says just checked weather for Mousy, Kentucky, high of 31 from 4 to 6 p.m. I don't know if Mr. Steve's still here. I don't know what part of the country he's going to be, or if he can say where he's going to be traveling to work on these cases. I know there's a lot of things that he can't talk about. We understand that. I must have missed something Mr. Steve said on 2/12/1982. I might have missed, he might not be talking, I might have missed something, a comment, or he may be talking to somebody else. I don't think I cleaned my glasses before I can't hardly read tonight. And I hope my swamp signal is holding up. Oh, goodness. Dandy says it's 30 degrees warmer where I am in Colorado. That should be illegal. Yeah, you would think that it would be, because Mr. Steve was talking about Kentucky. I don't know if that's where he's at or just traveling through. I don't think he might have left. I don't know. I think he said he wasn't going to leave till Tuesday or Wednesday. But yeah, you would think it would be colder in Colorado than in Kentucky. But then again, Kentucky, it's up there. It's more north. Thank you. Miss Barbara says, thank you. We'll be sharing. Absolutely. Dandy says, I was out this weekend trying to catch a leprechaun. Did you catch any? Did you catch one? You could have caught one for me, too. I need a leprechaun, even though I'm, 50% Irish heritage. Did you catch any Lucky Charms? I'd take Lucky Charms right now. I'm hungry. And we ate lunch when we were out. We ate at Zaxby's, which I love Zaxby's. I don't know if any of you guys, if you have Zaxby's up north or if it's just down here. They have some good chicken. They have good everything. Good chicken, good fries, Texas toast, Zaxby's salads. I love Zaxby's. But now I'm thinking about, Danny's got me thinking about Lucky Charms. Yeah, Miss Marion, once again, absolutely. Hashtag justice for Timmy D's, justice for all. Absolutely, ma'am. Yep, Miss Barbara. Yes, Kimberly Lotz. That was she was there last night at the live stream. And is she? And yes, Dante Martin. I was looking into all that. So Kimberly, if you're still here, Miss Barbara, once again, I don't know how far I'm behind in comments. What the time frame is, I'm behind in comments. What is Kimberly Lott? So you don't have to divulge any personal information, other than, is she kin to one of the victims? Because when I was reading the articles about the Fredericksburg thing, there was a Lotz, the last name Lotz, that was mentioned. Now, like I said, if you don't want to say anything, that's fine. I can go back and reread. But unless I'm just got my cases mixed up, the name Lotz came up when I was looking at the whole Fredericksburg. Yeah, I have lots of questions about that. Lots of red flags there with that one gentleman that's connected to all 3 or 4 or 5 cases. So I'm definitely going to dig deep into that one. Another new name and face. Oh no, I've heard Brandy Churchwell, 13th juror. I've heard. Is that the same Brandy Churchwell? Because you're saying hi to Mr. Steve. Mr. Steve has mentioned Brandy Churchwell. If you're still here, Brandy, I'm behind in comments. If you have a channel, I believe if it's the same Brandy Churchwell, she has a channel. Any of my mods, Dandy or Michelle or Junior, whoever's here, can snag the channel and put the link into Brandy's channel. I still have not had a chance to check it out yet, but all the time I hear Mr. Steve talking about Brandy Churchwell. I think see her in the chats and Mr. Steve. Yes, that's the name. Yes, James Wade is the name of these people that took their allegedly took their own life on his property, is what they're saying anyway. Yes, James Wade. Yep. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that's especially, I think, was it the Dante case was the one where he went to that house to a party and supposedly he was scared because he was the only person of color there, and somebody gave him a firearm, and allegedly he ended up in the attic deceased. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I think that's what I remember reading last night. Yeah, that something hinky about that, in my opinion. Lots of hinkiness going on in that. Yeah, Mr. Steve is saying hi to Brandy Churchwell. Yeah, definitely one of my mods snag Brandy's channel link and throw it in there. Go ahead. I have no problem with that. I have no problem putting any other channels in here as long as they're good ones. And I know that Brandy is probably a good one because Mr. Steve, I don't think, would mention her if she wasn't. And I believe I've seen Brandy Churchwell and he's mentioned her channel, and then I've seen her in his chats a couple of times. So most definitely. Yep. Hello. Once again, I don't know how behind I am. 9:35. I was about 20 minutes behind. Brandy Churchwell said hi. Hello. Welcome, Brandy. Good to have you here. It's good to have everybody here. Oh, okay. Dandy says they found Elijah Vu's blanket today. Do you know, you might have said, do you know where they found it at? Was it close to the home or somewhere they've been searching? Either way, wherever they found it. If they found his blanket and not him. Thank you for that information, Dandy. I'll check it out once I get off of here. Trying to get caught up in comments. Yeah, once again, Michelle put a hashtag justice for Timmy D's. I might just start putting that in my post in my Facebook groups and YouTube. Adding that in. Yep. Dandy says we may be small, but we are mighty. Absolutely. We can do anything we set our minds to working together. Takes all of us. All of us. Takes the ones like me. Once again, I always say I still have trouble calling myself a creator, but the creators, Mr. Steve, all of them that former law enforcement with all their expertise. Plus, they go out, boots on the ground, as he says. Carolyn, in her secret, she is a geophysicist. So she does from what I understand, the ground penetrating radar and anything scientific that needs to be done. And Chris also goes out and helps, sometimes with Mr. Steve, but Chris from the mob crew goes out and helps search for, I think he said he was going to be going out pretty soon and looking, they're going to do another search for Aiden Clune. He was talking about that on his live the other night. So yeah, we all have something we can contribute. If we can't go out and be boots on the ground, We can be creators and share these things. We can be communities, sharing on any and all social platforms. Yeah, it takes all of us to make a difference. We can make a difference. We may not think so sometimes, but we can. Oh, I might have missed Michelle's leaving. Michelle says it's almost time for me to go sleep so I can get up early. Thank you, Michelle, for being here. If you're still here, I don't know how far I'm behind. I'm getting caught up now. I'm only about 10 minutes behind. Thank you, Michelle. Always good to have you here, my dear. Yeah, Miss Marion says thank you all. Absolutely, Miss Marion. You're very welcome. Oh, Michelle says that's how she gets her groceries. Oh, you're talking about the Spark driver. Yeah, I just happened to come across it because I want something with kind of a flexible schedule where I can kind of make my own schedule and keep doing this. Now if I can't, but I came across this, somebody actually, because I worked at a Walmart for 15 years before I did home health care for 10 years. And then I had to quit doing that because just the emotional and, not so much the physical toll, but the mental and emotional toll that home health caregiving takes. I was getting burned out to the point where it's affecting me. And, but yeah, do my shopping at the Walmart that I worked at for 15 years. And one of the ladies that I knew very well said, you should become one of the drivers that comes and picks up the groceries and delivers them to the people. And I said, how do I do that? And she's like, I don't know. So I got on the Google machine, and it's called a Spark driver. You can deliver from Walmart and other places. So that's why we had to go get a copy of sorry, my cat came in again. A copy of our car insurance, because I have to have a picture of that to send, the proof of insurance, and of course my ID and the background check and all that. So I'm definitely looking into that, because you can basically make your own schedule and work when you want to. And, depending on what orders you take, you can make a different amounts of money with tips and hourly. And so I'm going to look into it, see how it goes. Thank you, Junior. He might be going already too. Junior says he's getting ready to go to bed also. Thank you, Junior. Have a good night and a good rest. I think you said you were back in Michigan. I hope your family in Kentucky is doing well, and you are doing well. Thank you, Junior. Always a pleasure to have Junior here. Junior's a great guy. I haven't seen Dave. It's a little bit early for Dave, though. I don't know. I think Dave works nights. He's usually on very, very late at night. But I haven't seen it. I think my cat has the hiccups. Either that or he's fixing to Ralph all over my bed. Don't barf on my bed, dude. Sorry. Apologize. That's so rude. I think he has the hiccups. Hopefully it's just the hiccups. Maybe Tigger hit the bottle a day after St. Patrick's Day. Did you hit the bottle, dude? Did you save me any? He just look at me like I'm crazy. He's like, well, I'm a cat. I'm not going to answer you. Anyway, he does talk though, and I can definitely tell what he's trying to tell me. He's definitely got attitude. Yeah, Marissa popped in. Marissa from Australia. Quick hello. Hope everyone is well. I'll be on Replay Crew. Thank you, Marissa, if you're watching on Replay Crew. Thank you very much, my dear, for popping in. Always good to have Marissa here. Oh no. Danny says, I've never had groceries delivered, but I used to deliver food to elderly people that don't have, transportation until a dog got her. Oh my goodness. Yes. Talking about, yes. A lot of the churches, around here, at least one night a week, or they'll stagger it for one church will do one night, and, the churches around, they will deliver food to elderly that can't get out and get their own food, to lower income families that need, just a little help with meals. They'll deliver hot meals. Yes, that's a very good, like I said, a lot of the churches and community centers do that here, as I'm sure they probably do everywhere. Yep. Miss Marion said, "Love you too, Mrs. Steve." Yep, we love Mrs. Steve too. Yep. Michelle said she was gone at 9:48. Yeah, Miss Barbara says, "I will always share the missing." Absolutely, ma'am. I will too, to the best of my ability, and we all do. We'll share. Yeah, Dandy says, "As we should. They don't have a voice, so we will be the voice." Absolutely, a voice for the voiceless. I think that's the motto, the thing for missing. It will be a voice for the voiceless. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Miss Marion said, Southern Gal, you're doing great. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I just get on here and with my little camera, my little laptop or my phone, camera on my phone and do what I can. But thank you. I appreciate it so much. Oh, there's mom. Mind of Monsters. Uh-oh, says Mind of Monsters says not feeling well, just popping in. I hope you get to feeling better, Mind of Monsters. Thoughts, prayers, good vibes to you. I don't know what's wrong, but I hope you get to feeling better. Um, oh, I got you. Okay, Mr. Steve was let's see. He might still be here. Talking about the Kelly Hollan case. Let me go back to find Kelly Hollan. I'm going the wrong way. There, yes, this one. Mr. C said Kelly Hollan went missing on February 12th, 82. Weather was 31 degrees high when mom allowed him out to play. Yes. Oh, that just, and he was what, the 6-year-old. Yeah, we played, of course, here in Arkansas, we didn't get, sorry, my cat leaves and didn't shut the door behind himself. Here in Arkansas, we didn't, when we were kids, we didn't get a lot of snow. Although I think it seemed like we did get more snow when I was, a kid than we do now. But anyway, we were allowed to go play in the snow, but we had to come in at least every hour or so to come warm up, so we can get frostbite and, get something, mom would make a, cocoa or whatever and get something warm to drink and get dry socks on and boots and go back outside and play. But yeah, just letting a 6-year-old, even just letting a 6-year-old, maybe I'm just too protective, but letting a 6-year-old outside by themselves, unless it was a fenced in yard, because 6-year-olds can be gone in a flash. But yeah, but in 30-degree weather, I definitely would not let a 6-year-old or any age kid go out 31-degree weather. Definitely not a 6-year-old. No, not by themselves. Mm-mm. Yeah, I agree totally with Mr. Steve, as always. Okay, so Miss Barbara says Kimberly Lots, it's her grandson. Which one's grandson? One of the victims in the Fredericksburg. I remember reading the name Lots, but I'll have to go back and I bookmarked that article about that whole Fredericksburg thing, or one of the articles. I'll have to go back and reread it. Yeah, thank you. Dandy put Brady Churchwell's channel in. Yes, please go check out Brady Churchwell. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've got to get over there and check her out. I'm having trouble keeping up now with watching all the channels I watch on a regular basis, which is basically True Mr. Steve, True Crime Web, and Chris at the Mob Crew, and maybe one or two others. Between keeping up with their stuff, what they got going on, and trying to find, work up cases for content for my channel, and then now in all these Facebook groups I'm in, which I love. I'm trying to help share these cases from these groups and all the requests I'm getting for cases to highlight which I'm more than happy to do. But like I said, just you have to be patient. I'm going to work my way through all of them, and that's why I want a job that I can kind of make my own hours. that'll let me make enough money to live on, but yet still be able to do this too. Because I can't stop doing this. I can't. But I got to have some income to live on. Yeah, Miss Barbara is agreeing with Mr. Steve and probably a lot of us who lets their kids out at, especially a 6-year-old. That's my thing, 6-year-old out in 30 degrees, freezing weather by themselves in the snow. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, Mom says definitely stronger together. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara says, thank you very much for everything you all do, all of us do to, not just me, everybody, all do to help families. Absolutely, Miss Barbara. We got your backs. We got everybody's backs. Even if the families have no idea who we are, we got their backs. Yes, as always, Mr. Steve with the expert info. Agreeing with Miss Barbara, said also not favorable weather for child predators to be out trolling for victims, limits orbit of suspects. Absolutely. And I think, was this the case? I'm getting them mixed up, that the mom said she thought that he was over at a friend's playing, or I could be confusing it with the other one, because we had another child case. Either the Richard Lee Haynes. There was one where the punishment, I think that was Richard Lee Haynes. But yeah, but I think the mom said, wasn't the Kelly Hollan one, the mom said that she went to maybe her boyfriend's grandmother's or some of his family's house because they didn't have which back in that day wasn't unusual, they didn't have a landline, a home phone of their own, so she went to some of her boyfriend's family, and they would not let her call, she claimed, they would not let her call the police until midnight. And I don't know if that's her story and she's telling the truth, but that's a little, yeah, but definitely, yeah, I wouldn't think, like Mr. Steve said, obviously it would not be favorable conditions for any predators to be out looking for in that kind of weather, below freezing with snow, I believe. Yep. Definitely something hinky, something strange afoot at the Circle K. Yep, Dandy says, I wouldn't do that at 6. Your little one is 7. She says she's a helicopter mom when he's outside. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Miss Barbara's echoing what I said. I wouldn't let a 6-year-old go out by themselves any time of the year nowadays. Yeah. And even because this was from 82, things like this did happen back in the 80s, obviously, but you just, unless it was local to your town and they wrote about it in the newspaper, or you hear it by word of mouth, or they showed it on the local news, you didn't hear about all these things happening. They obviously did happen. You know, Probably, I don't know if it would be at the rate it is now, maybe similar. I don't know, but it's just back then you didn't have, it was before. Like now we have, I keep saying it, 24/7 news cycles. All the social media platforms were just bombarded from every direction with all these missing persons and these horrible things happening to kids, and it's just horrible. It just, maybe makes us think that it happens more nowadays, but it definitely did happen back in, 67. Since the beginning of time, basically, it's been happening, unfortunately. We just hear about it more now. Ooh. Yeah, Mr. Steve says 10-mile-per-hour wind chill made it feel 22 degrees. Yeah, I mean, why would you let a 6-year-old go out in, basically, like Mr. Steve said, wind chill made it feel like 22? No, you don't let a 6-year-old child go out, especially by themselves. No, no, absolutely not. Yeah, Dandy says things didn't seem so bad 27 years ago. I'm sure it was, but info was instant now. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Because I mean, I grew, anybody who's watched me, y'all can repeat everything I'm probably fixing to say. Grew up and still live in a very small town, less than 2,000. I grew up in the 70s and then in the mid to late 80s, a teenager, and I live, on a farm, but 5 minutes to town. And we were allowed, as a teenagers, 15, 16, even 13 or 14, to be out after dark, walking in town with no thought, no fear of anything. We didn't have any fear, and apparently our parents didn't have any fear of any of us being snatched up. So it's just, but it happened. It obviously happens, but I don't know. Yeah, Mind of Monsters says that it's hard. She works 40 hours a week, still do all my advocacy in between. My Twitter is where I post most of my content and go live when I can at night or on the weekends. I'm just drained after work. Yeah. Yep. That's the way I was with the home health caregiving. Said it wasn't so much physical, but just the emotional and the mental toll it takes on you. After 10 years, I just, I loved all my clients, but I couldn't do it anymore. It was making me even badder than I already am, just the emotional toll, mental toll it takes on you. Yeah, Dandy says to a mom, take some time off and get yourself feeling better. Absolutely. Yeah, Dandy says that they live. Dandy says we live in a safe neighborhood. Our neighbors' kids are running loose, unsupervised. I pull a chair out and watch them all. It's not safe anymore. Absolutely. God bless you, Dandy. Yeah, we have to watch out for each other and watch out for our kids, no matter who, if we know them or not. Most definitely. Miss Barbara says that she lives on a podcast now. She never heard of them before her son went missing. Yeah. I try to, my mistake I make is because I have to sleep. I can't go to sleep in total darkness. I have to have some kind of light on, and I have to have some kind of noise going. So most of the time, I just leave my TV on all night and just turn it down where I can barely hear it. Or sometimes I will have a Spotify and I will put a podcast on to say, I'll listen to a podcast episode, usually, always true crime related. Y'all listen to a podcast episode before I go to sleep, and then 10 minutes in and I'm snoring. So I had to finish, go back and start it again and listen to the next day. But yeah, I love some podcasts too. Well, now Mr. Steve, I don't know about that. Mr. Steve says that his mom said that he was a nightmare to keep up with, but Mr. Steve thinks that she's exaggerating. Should we get Mrs. Steve's opinion on that, Mr. Steve? I'm sure she has an opinion. Oh, goodness. And I can't remember, did you say, and if you don't want to say, that's fine, that you were the youngest of the kids? I think you said maybe. You can correct me if I'm wrong if you're still here. I don't know how far I'm behind. Oh, I'm only 2 minutes behind, 3 minutes behind now. I'm almost caught up. I'm doing good. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Well, okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt, Mr. Steve. Maybe your mom was exaggerating that you were a hell on wheels. I love you, Mr. Steve. We all love you. I said I might be getting caught up. Oh goodness, Dandy's. She's talking to Miss Barbara, but Dandy said a 3-year-old lost a few years back. I'm assuming you're talking about somewhere in Colorado. She was outside unsupervised and fell into an irrigation ditch. The whole town was looking for her. Oh yeah, kids can fall. Kids can either accidentally fall or on purpose go into some small places to hide. I'm telling you, and then unfortunately, a lot of them get in there and get stuck and can't get out, and it's horrifying. That reminds me of the Oh, was it Baby Jessica back in the 80s that fell down into the pipe? And I remember watching that. They did that. I think it's back when maybe CNN was first starting out, or I first got satellite, my first satellite I had. I watched the Baby Jessica for until they pulled her out of that hole. I remember that. It was 80 something, I believe. Yeah, and she was just what, 1 or 2 years old. If anybody remembers, I think it's Baby Jessica that fell down in the well. Not, let's say the well, like last season, fell down the well into the pipe, fell into the pipe, and they had to dig the hole and go over to the pipe, and eventually got her out. But she was a baby. Yeah, little ones can either fall or crawl willingly into very small places. And Miss Barbara says that she raised her kids in a small town at 1,500. Yeah, the town I live in we may be nudging 2,000, but it's definitely not over 2,000. Dandy says, I was looking out for her. It was sad that they discovered her drowned. All losses are heartbreaking tragedies. Absolutely. So Mr. Steve says that he's 60 and Mrs. Steve can't find him without Locate My Phone app. So you're still hell on wheels? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Steve? Uh, yeah. Does she got that? What is it? She needs to get the Life 360 app. That might be what you're talking about. Get the Life 360 app so she knows where you're at. Because I know she doesn't. I think when you said you were in Delphi, when you were maybe doing the drone footage on the bridge, and she texted you and asked you if you were in the water or something because she was checking up on you on your GPS. I thought that was funny. Oh, goodness. Can't be too careful, though. You be careful, Mr. Steve. Uh, yes. Mr. Steve, yeah, Miss Barbara said, Mr. Steve, you're hilarious. Mr. Steve's a funny guy. He is. He's business when he needs to be business, but I love Mr. Steve's humor. It's that dark, dry humor that you have to have when dealing with things that most definitely he had to deal with as law enforcement and CSI. But yeah, and even covering true crime and the things that we hear about and read about, or anybody in the news. Yeah, you got to have that dark, dry humor. I love Mr. Steve's humor. Miss Barbara said that Mrs. Steve will chase down Mr. Steve with the drone. No, all Mr. Steve would have to do is bring out one of his creepy mannequin. Well, no, because Miss Steve would pew pew the mannequin and maybe accidentally pew pew Mr. Steve in the process with the creepy mannequins. Oh yeah, yeah. Danny was talking to Barbara, but I remember. Yeah, everybody's laughing at Mr. Steve. It's a good laugh. We're laughing not at Mr. Steve. We're laughing with Mr. Steve. There's a difference. I think I'm caught up in comments. I'm just gonna leave it here on a little Kelly Hollan here. I won't leave it on. I remember to put in my never forget thing, but I'd rather leave everybody with so I'm gonna go through my shameless plugging. Anybody's got any more questions, comments, goodbyes, whatever, pop them in chat while I'm doing my shameless plugging, and then I'll get to last comments because we're 2.5 hours. So I gotta get out of here. Let me get my right. Oh, no, hold on. There we go. All right, now I got it going. Okay, so everybody, thank you. Everybody that's here was here in chat, still here in chat, participating. All the lurkers, everybody who's watching on replay, please hit that like button before you get out of here. Or if you're watching on replay, thank you so much. Hit the like button. Please consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed. If this channel, if you find this content informative, interesting, share share it, like, share, comment. Sharing is the most important. The more people that we can share this information, this content with about these important cases, the better. So, and plus it helps the channel, helps YouTube, pushes the channel out more, and that's also important for getting information out to as many people as possible. Questions or comments, feel free to email me. If you have a case, once again, if you have a case that you would like me to look at and feature, send me the victim name, state it happened in, any information you have. Email it to me, or if you do Facebook, do have the link to my Facebook group at the top of the chat and in the description box and in the about page. I believe I have a post pinned to the top in the feature post. Says if you have a case that you want to look at, put it in the comments. I can find it there also. Yep. So there's of course, my page and my group are obviously Southern Gal True Crime. If you would like to donate to help support the channel and the awareness for the missing and the search for the missing, ways to donate right now. Donate. Buy me a coffee, PayPal, Venmo, Southern Gal merch. We get those watch hours up to 3,000, then I can apply for limited monetization, do memberships, super chat, super stickers, all that good stuff. That will help. So thank you. Once again, anybody whoever wants to go take a break from true crime, head over to my second channel, Southern Gal Ramblings. There's some content there. I promise you guys, I've been promising for like months now that we're going to get over there and do see what we can call it, Ramblings After Dark instead of True Crime After Dark, like I do here. Ramblings After Dark, and we can talk about anything and everything not true crime related. Just to take a break from some true crime, give our minds a rest. All right, I think that is all my shameless plugging. So let me got some more comments. Yep. Thank you, Mr. Steve. Says good night, everyone. Stay safe. You too, Mr. Steve. Thank you for popping in. We'd love to have you here. You be safe. You get rest. You and everybody that's with you. Be safe on the ground, boots on the ground out there, fighting the good fight. And be good and get plenty of rest. We love you, Mr. Steve, and everybody that works with you. Yep. Dandy says if anybody is Discord, check missing people. Yeah, thank you, Miss Marion, for being here. I don't think I'm gonna try to remember from memory everybody that was here. Thank you, Miss Marion, for being here. She says thank you all for you. Thank you for all you do for us families. Absolutely, that's what we're here for. Thank you, Miss Marion, for being here. Miss Barbara Hall for being here. Dandy Linus, thank you, dear. Everyone, stay safe and warm. Absolutely. Yep, Miss Marion says safe travels, Mr. Steve. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Barbara. Thank you all. Good night, sweet dreams. You too, Miss Barbara. Thank you so much for being here, ma'am. It's an honor for you to be here too. For everybody, I love everybody here. I truly do. Yep. Thank you, Miss. Yep. Dandy says, I'm assuming maybe she's talking about Mr. Steve or somebody else. Anyway, Dandy says he draws me to help others. Yeah. What link are you talking about, Miss Barbara? I'm still here, Miss Barbara. I don't know what link you're talking about. Yeah, Dandy asked for Discord. Miss Barbara says I will be sharing this on all groups that will let me. Thank you, Miss Barbara. Yes, yeah, to share this. I can't do it from here. You can just go to my YouTube page, and I don't know if you're on a phone or a computer, but there's a share, and you can copy the link, and then you can copy the link and then paste it into whatever group or wherever you want to share it to. Um, Oh, she must have been talking. She says, I want to go to the chat you're going to. What's the name of it again? Okay, Dandy put the Discord in there. Okay. I don't know which of our, it might be mine or Mind of Monsters or something totally different. Whatever it is, yeah, wonderful. Whatever it is. Anything that information about the missing and the cold cases. Absolutely. All right, guys, I'm caught up. I'm gonna get out of here. 2.5 hours. That's not bad. 30. I shaved 30 minutes off last night's time. I'm getting better. Oh, trying to multitask. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, I forgot to. Once again to Miss Barbara Hall, Miss Marion, Dandy Jr., Mr. Steve, of course, to Crime Web, Michelle C. I'm going to forget somebody. I'm so sorry if I forget. Michigan Wifey was there. Junior, I'm probably repeating myself. Junior was here earlier. Marissa popped in. Mind of Monsters. Everybody that was here at chat, thank you. Everybody watching on replay, thank you. Wednesday, I don't know if I'll have anything. I never know. If something breaks in the news, and the stories are falling in the news, I might pop in with a live stream at some point. If not, I'll either have a video or a live stream, probably a video this Friday of the case of the week. So we'll be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, you can go to my playlist and watch any of my videos or live streams that you haven't watched. Let it play in the background, couch towards watch hours. Everybody stay safe out there. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. That's the most important thing we can do, is take care of our fellow human beings. I love all you guys, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.